Welcome to Seriously Speaking. 4 years ago, I had my guest on the show today, on this show, in the early days of Seriously Speaking in 2014, thereabouts. And the reason I had invited him then was simply because he had gone to the desert and come back after 6 months of trying to cross through Libya to the other side of the world for greener pastures. And he had written a book that was called Chasing the Mirage. At that time, we wanted him to share his experience simply because it seemed kind of far out. But today, since the CNN broke the news of what happens in connection homes, the whole world suddenly realizes that those who are seeking greener pastures may get there, but they go through these connection homes and they become slaves at the end of the day. It brings on the whole issue of human trafficking. On the show today, I have Osita, who was here with me 4 years ago, and 3 people who have come back now, because today, Osita's work is around ensuring that many people who come back are rehabilitated. This is Seriously Speaking. I'll be back with Osita and my other guests on Seriously Speaking, if you don't go away. Yes, it's a pleasure to welcome Osita. And like you saw, I mean, I'm going to ask our producer to play a little clip of when he was here on the show 4.5 years ago now, and just to set the tone for what we're doing here. Osita, I'm going to read very quickly one paragraph from this book. Osita, by the way, is the author of a book titled Chasing a Mirage, My Search for an Oasis. And it's based on his own true story of his journey. Actually, he ended up in Libya, I forgot. When Abike said +288, I remember that you called your sister. I was
on my way to Europe.
You were on your way to Europe. Libya was just, most people going that way, they're on their way to Europe, isn't it?
See Tripoli, see Italy.
See Tripoli,
but you were going
see
to
Italy.
Europe through Libya.
Yeah, everybody in Libya is on transit to Europe.
That's what it turns out to be.
They're all stranded in Libya.
Let me read this. I need to drink something or I will die. A man jumped out of the truck, turned to corner, and he opened his zipper and he urinated into his jerry can. He brought his jerry can to his mouth and began to gulp hungrily. From the back of the truck, we watched his face, coveting the relief that flooded his eyes and the peace and calm that seemed to pervade his being. I looked away. This was repulsive, but I needed to drink something, anything, and I didn't care what it was. Many travelers jumped down from the truck and began to follow his lead. I urinated into my jerry can. It was barely much, but I closed my eyes and drank it. It had no taste. There was no time to savour its taste. I was trying to survive. After we discovered and water, we received some strength. We realized shortly, however, that men didn't produce as much urine as women did. And the men had to appeal to the women to share. I pleaded with Ada and Ngozi, and they shared some of their urine with me, which I passed on to Temi. It was sickening. But if this was how we were going to survive, then it was a price we were going to have to pay.
Wow.
That actually happened.
Yeah.
As you can see, I mean, it was a conversation that we had simply because I read the book, I found it interesting, and I figured that how it was so graphic, what he experienced. And Osita is back here. Then he told me what he experienced, but he's back here and said, it's nice to have you on Seriously Speaking again.
Thank you very much, man.
You have been speaking, now you're a father of 5. When I met you, you were a father of 2. You have added 3 more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're an industrial maths graduate. And you, at least you schooled in Nigeria, you finished your youth service. I didn't even ask that.
Yeah, I served in Akure, Ondo State.
And then what happened? That is trying to get across and leave Nigeria.
Yeah, when I actually graduated, I had this flair. I wanted to do a uniform job. I had this flair for uniform and paramilitary work. I looked for a job with the Department of State Security Service. I actually looked for it well.
SSS?
Yes, SSS. I tried all the way, chased the work. I couldn't get it. So I a little bit became frustrated that the job I wanted to do, I couldn't get it. Even other jobs, I tried to look for other jobs, actually. You know, it was actually promises every day. Don't worry, we'll call you when we are ready. You know, and time was actually running out.
So what made you think going to Europe will solve your problem? And why did you choose that route?
Yes, actually, I didn't choose the road. I actually wanted to go to Europe by air. You understand?
I remember the book says so.
Yes.
Let me show us a copy of that. That's Chasing the Mirage.
Yeah, I got a visa, I got a ticket, but the visa was fake. You know, the frustration doubled up. You know,
how much did you pay? Can you remember how much did you pay for visa that
for
time?
visa then it was 250,000.
You didn't have a job.
Yes.
But you would get 250
yes.
to pay for visa.
You know, then I was doing business, so I had to mop up money from the remains of my business, and some friends assisted. You know, I got the money because actually some of my friends actually supported that I should travel. That with all these laws, I was that you cannot be frustrated like this. You know, so they supported traveling by air, not traveling by land. So it was after all the
fake visa.
Yeah, what the saga of not going by air, the option came up. Why are you wasting time?
How does one find those things? You meet somebody at the restaurant, or somebody comes to you, or people are waiting in the airport.
They are everywhere. They are everywhere. They are everywhere. And once you find yourself in that situation, you are likely to see one or two persons at any point in time that will link you up.
Are they touts?
There could be family members. Everyone is involved in that. There could be family members, mostly their friends. You know, there are people around that will see, you want to travel? Okay, I have somebody that can arrange a visa for you. And the moment you get into the person's hand that will arrange a visa for you, the link continues. So from there, you have a story of, okay, why are you wasting time in 2-3 days' time? Don't
you ask yourself that the person that's trying to get you across, why doesn't that person go?
Yeah, at that point that you are desperate, what you're thinking about is getting out of the country. It will be difficult for you to reflect or start thinking if it's going to be fake or not.
Okay, tell me now, but the truth is you came back.
Yeah.
Because I remember reading your book, and what hit me was the question of you seeing the Lampa Lampa.
Yeah, the Mediterranean Sea, it was terrible. And people that died that were brought back.
Because you saw the boat with people full and and that made you come back.
Yeah.
But since then, since 2004, your life's work has been towards helping people.
Yeah.
First of all, to raise awareness about how dangerous it is to cross. And then, in more recent times, resettling people who have come back. You know, so why did you choose to do that? Because you're still not a rich man.
Yeah, actually...
Are you a rich man?
No. Actually, when I was going, I saw the manner and way, because at the time I was stuck in the desert, and I saw the manner and way Nigerian, our youth and our girls were being sold, and they were running out of the country as if there was actually war in Nigeria. And looking at the area where these people are coming from my side, I now said, are we really fighting war? What is chasing us out? And when I returned back, I was coming back, I saw people, you know, some dying, some stranded.
Did anybody not think you were crazy coming back?
You understand? A lot of them thought I was crazy, but I swore when I was coming back that if I eventually survive to get into Nigeria, that I would do everything possible to end this means of traveling to Europe, because it has really, you know, it has really destroyed a lot of our youths, you know. And I said, and when I came back, I actually started, I was very mad and very aggressive. I was everywhere. At times I go to park, when I see young boys traveling with bag, I would tell the drivers...
Trying to stop them.
Yeah, try to stop them.
So, I mean, it would be nice for me to take a break at this point in time, because your work has carried you to the point where you will help people who are coming back. So when you saw that CNN story, it was not strange to you?
No, I was even happy, because I said it. I said it that time,
I'll be back. I'll take a break and I'll be back. When Osita returns, he'll return with 3 people he's helping currently to fight this fight. We'll be back.